Yes, hello everybody, welcome to another video. It's still January 14th, or whatever day we said it was, several hours ago now. There we go, yeah, I just had a bit of a break for some lunch. I had a courgette and leek, I think it was courgette and leek soup. Pretty delicious. Anyway, today we are resuming the main story. We're here at Kilika. This is one of my favourite moments of Final Fantasy X-2 in the way that they structure the attack on the temple that's happening here. It's very, very cool. Now, off-screen, I have actually already been here. We haven't missed any cutscenes or anything. Don't worry, it slaps you in here. It's just I opened the chest and I match-made to people so that I wouldn't mess it up while I was on the video. And there's still plenty more for us to do here, which we're going to run through now. So, but when you first load in, there's no cutscene. There's nothing weird. It's kind of like, you know, chapter 1 or something. It's kind of like, oh, you just arrived, and that's it. And you got some people talking. And she says, Yevon's spreading rumors about fiends to try and catch us off guard. That's when they'll attack. So she's like paranoid as all hell. Don't forget, this is a hub of Youth League activity. The Youth League headquarters currently is that giant tent thing at Mushroom Rock, but they're trying to move it here to Kilika. This guy says fiends come from the temple? It's a likely story. This is just another Yevon trick. So these guys don't think anything's going on at all. Now, we've seen evidence elsewhere in Spirit that there are fiend attacks going on. So can it be true that there's nothing happening at Kilika? A couple of guys here. The Kilika beasts. He says, if the temple sends anyone to attack, they want to make it past us. Wow, really? You're that convinced? Wow, that dog's really barking, he says. And it's true, this dog's just barking. Look how ominous this is. This is kind of scary. You guys don't know anything that's going on, and there's just a dog just bark, 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 bark. Wow, the dog's really barking. Doesn't seem too good. Here's a guy. He says, they're not letting anyone past the checkpoint. There's no way to get to the woods or the temple. This guy says, it seems to me when someone's in trouble, you help them out, even in New Yevon. Ah, you're really cool. I like you. There's little kids who say, why are grown-ups so complicated? We're worried, but they said they can't go and help them about. I don't know. All right, so something new that's actually occurred in Kilika is this guy here. He says, need a ride down towards the woods? It's basically just a boat that takes you a single screen forward. I don't know, maybe Kilika was planned to be bigger at some point. We'll ride the boat in just a second, but of course we've got a couple more people to talk to. All these kids care about is their politicking. Don't give a second thought to fishing. Yep. Didn't we have someone share those sentiments in a previous chapter already? I have some friends up at the temple. I hope nothing happens to them. Why would you think anything's happened to them? It seems pretty peaceful, pretty normal here at the moment, right? I swear there's some extra places you can jump down from these ledges, but I'm hammering circle and it doesn't seem to be working right now. So there are like 2 or 3 people here on this screen that you can matchmake to. Apparently, by the way, everyone in Kilika loves Hypello. I don't know why, but Hypello are really exciting to them. There are warrior monks in the temple, aren't there? They'll take care of this. Take care of what? What do you mean? It just sounds like rumors and hearsay to me. And then you got this lady here. The woods have been sealed off. No one else can get there. There's something going on. Their food is for Youth League members. Help yourself. Oh, thank you. I wonder what would happen if we came here on New Yevon. Huh. We've already abandoned the precepts. What do we need the temple for? Wow, that lady's a lot like Becklem, I suppose. And down here, we've actually got a fairly important NPC for a small side quest on Kilika. I mentioned back in Chapter 1. This is the Squatter Monkey side quest. And it's not the same as the Zanakin one. No. So let me know if you find any Squatter Monkeys, she says, in the woods. How many squatter monkeys have you brought me? Let's see, 0, I think. Keep looking, they're out there. All right. So you really only have 2 opportunities to do this. It's kind of a side quest that you would think goes through the entire game, but it's not so simple as that. So in Chapter 1, you can speak to her, and she tells you about the monkeys, and she says, go find them all and bring them here, all right? And you get a prize. Now, if you did that in Chapter 1, she would reward you for it in the next chapter, Chapter 2. But, if you guys remember, in Chapter 2, you can't come to Kilika. So now is when we'd get our reward. We skipped it in Chapter 1. So, and we couldn't do it in Chapter 1, so now we have to do it in Chapter 3. You don't get a chance in Chapter 4 either, so this is it. There's like 2 opportunities across the 5 chapters to do it. And actually get a reward. Because if you leave it too late, then it's too late. If any fiends show up, I'm going to hide just like the monkeys. But the thing is, every time you go to the woods in Kilika, there's crazy stuff going on. So it's like really weird the way that they tied that quest in there. Anyway, so there's the headquarters. No one's going to help at the temple because they're scared of the fiends. Stuff about the fiends is true. I heard it from my boyfriend. Oh dear, really? This guy you can matchmake to also loves Hypello, I believe. He says, sure, the thought of the fiends has me worried, but I can't quite trust those guys up in the temple. Maybe you should help them, surely, right? Anyway, so that's everyone on this screen, and now we should be able to talk to the boat keeper, and we're going to take a ride down to the woods. The boat's very useful when you come in from the right-hand side, because otherwise you have to go all the way across that bridge and all the way back around just to go through. But yeah, check it out. It's a cool little animation, right? It's easily missed. All these little vehicle sections they seem to have put in the game. Man. I'm sure you could cut together like stuff like her on the boats, her on the hovers, the first-person shooter thing from Besaid, to just make this game look completely like something that is absolutely not. It's a first-person boat racing game. What are you guys talking about? All right, let's find a couple more people to speak to. Basically, I don't want to go through that gate just yet. Now, of course, there's something else we need to do as well. So there's more guys. We won't be taken in by the temple's lies ever again. If Fiends really did show up, I'd be like, so out of there. Wait, we have to revoice this guy. If the, like, Fiends really did show up, I'd be like, so out of there. Forget about the temple. There you go. Is that good? Is that good? We can't even get people living on the same island to get along. Forget about New Yevon. Let them fight on their own. Don't worry about yourselves. Gold Wings, you don't need to get involved. Do you think the people in the temple are lying to us too? Oh, wait, she was a young lady. Sorry. Oh, and there's a little kid sat alone. I want to see my sister. All right, remember this kid. I want to see my sister, okay? He wants to see his sister. All right. Maybe one day you will, my friend. Okay, and then there's this guy. Is he a shop still? Nobody really knows what's going on at the temple, no. I think there is a shop nearby. Ah, there's a chest that I missed before. I see you, little chest. I just love the way Kilika's laid out, man. I could run around here forever. I mean, the music right now doesn't really sell it too well. This place with the Besaid music? Oh, mwah, perfecto. Hey, listen, I think I hear voices coming from the woods. What's a look over at the woods? It doesn't seem like anything crazy is going on, no? But of course, we do have the boat. Now, remember this. Not just the squatter monkeys is going on. Every time you can, you have to come and speak to Buddy here. And he says, that's the new youth league base they're putting up. Go ahead, take a look. And you say, okay, thanks. Again, like, this game is so tricksy. I don't know what to think about it. It gets a little closer to completion every day. Like, there's no indication that that's any different to the time we viewed it in Chapter 1. But you have to do that. Every time you can, you have to talk to that guy. You have to look at the base. Because that will unlock something in Chapter 5. Fiends, that's their problem, obviously. I'm really worried about the temple. I haven't had a chance to pray to Lord Holland yet this year. Oh, that's great. That's really cool. I'm making preparations to fight the Fiends. Are you now? There might be a little bit more matchmaking we can do around here. Yeah, like this lady. Help Fiends, they say. That's the oldest trick in the book. Did they really think we'd believe that? Yeah? If the Fiends really have shown up, we should take them down the blockade. I keep telling them I have family in the temple, but those Rocks for Brains League jerks won't let me through. So some people want to help. Basically, Kilika is a very conflicted town, and that's what I really like about it. You know, you see everyone's perspective. Anyway, so we're going to come over here into Donna's house. Now, I believe if we go up to the checkpoint, they just push us away, and they say, no, you can't come in. Go away. So we have to come into Donna's house.
My. What brings you here?
We heard Fiends were coming from the temple.
And you just had to come running.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I would.
I'm not even so sure there are any Fiends.
You haven't checked?
I'm in the Youth League. Do you think they'd let me in the temple?
So now what? We giving up? Let's take a look first.
You'll never get near the temple. The Youth League's blockaded the forest entrance. As they should. We can't have those temple vermin crawling into town now, can we?
Wow.
Besides, it spares me from having to see that sulky face.
Bartello's?
Sulky face? Bartello?
Of course, he's with New Yevon, so naturally he's in the temple.
Uh-oh.
But then it's really none of my business.
Donna.
They will make it ours. Besides, I'm worried about the Fiends.
If you want to go that badly, I won't stop you. But they're turning people away at the gate.
You gonna help us or not? I know you want to help Bartello. That's exactly what you're thinking right now. Secretly.
I've got it. I'll distract one of the guards. That's your chance to run through.
God, her outfit is so ugly. Every time I see her.
I knew she was worried about him.
Aww. Yeah, we all knew it. Yeah. I like that big, ugly red bow thing. I mean, it's just awful. Go onto Donna's house, onto her roof. Sorry about that. Go onto her roof because she should have a chest up here. There you go. And I think in chapter 1 this had loads of gil in it. This chapter has got 2,000 gil. Maybe a little bit less by comparison to our slowly growing mass of wealth now, but still. All right. So now we're going to head on over to the gate. And before, where we would have just got turned away, now we can cooperate a little with Donna to maybe get in.
I think it's working.
That leaves one. Let's wait for our chance and take it.
Okay. I'm going to quickly go save back at the entrance. All right. Now we're going to say, you bet I am. So this is a little mini game. If you don't get this right straight away, you actually miss a fairly cool drop, which is why I just went to save, and I will reset the game until I get this correct. So sneak through the gate unnoticed while Donna distracts one of the guards. Wait for a guard to open the gate, then make a break for it. So we're going to press R1 to change our view of the scene. We're going to watch closely, and when the time's right, we're going to press X to make a run for the gate, okay? Now, helpful hint is when a youth league member approaches, the guard will open the gate to let them pass, so pay attention. Now, what's really tricky about this, okay, is I remember doing this a lot and messing it up a lot. You've got to be really careful with the timing of how people look. Helpful hint as well, the guard Donna is talking to will occasionally turn around to check the gate, so don't run for it while he's looking. See that there that you literally just saw in the background? That's him looking at the gate. So, let's just say we don't need practice. You only get one chance, make it count. So we're going to run for it when we've got the opportunity. So we need to wait for that gate to be open. And the old lady's not allowed, apparently. This is crazy. The idea that they have a barricade, by the way, like this. Look at that weird barbed wire up there as well. The weird, like, crosses of spears or something. It's so funny, just to make sure that they keep separated. Is he getting let in? He is getting let in. All right, so the guard that Don is talking to is that guard. All right. And now he ran through. That's fine. He's looking. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to get an idea of the timing because I haven't done this for a long time. All right. He's looking the other way. I think that woman got sent away. He's looking again. That's fine. So we do it before the person runs through? Or do we do it... I don't know. After? I guess we do it after. That guy's looking again. It feels like every time I look at him, he turns around. All right, this guy's gonna go through. Ready? Ready? All right, he just turned around. Go. Did we do it? Did we do it? I think we did it. Yeah, we did it, baby. Oh my god, awesome. All right, and you get a Bushido lore. Bushido lore is very interesting because it talks about class we do not have yet. Yes, there are only two classes we don't have. Right, out of the entire game, as you guys should have known from a previous episode. But the Bushido lore is a special type of item. Let's try and find it here in our list. You can see our list is really growing here. Oh, what? There it is, Bushido lore. Now, the lore pickups, okay, allow you to use another class's abilities even when you are not that class. Very similar to how Pain is currently on Pride of the Sword Garment Grid, right? It gives you like that Garment Grid perk. So in theory, by using Pride of the Sword and this Bushido lore that we just picked up, I can give her 3 classes at once, sort of, or the ability to use lots of abilities. Now, it says there, use Bushido abilities that you learn as a samurai. Samurai? What? We've never heard of samurai? So samurai is one of the classes we don't have, and that we are actually on a fast track to getting right now. Let's swap off of Gun Mage now that we've learned our blue bullets, and go back to Berserker for her so we can see a little bit more of that. Because that's been missing for a while. And so there you go. And Pain and Riku are through. We should hurry to the temple before they catch on, she says. And what are you waiting for? Move it or lose it. Now, the whole way that's set up, it might really disincentivize you to go backwards and forwards through that gate.
What are you doing?
Run!
But you are capable of doing it.
There's a hidden path through the woods. Walk the treetops.
You are capable of doing it. And you want to do that to finish the monkey side quest, which we are in the thick of right now, even though all this other crazy nonsense is going on. So just bear that in mind. Uh-oh, does not look good. Yeah, something is definitely happening. What are you lot talking about back on the beach? That nothing's going on. Alright, so we load in right here. Now, the funny thing about this little area, right, is if you try and take the direct route, you're going to find a lot of barricades. And angry people shouting. It's proper chaos. It's crazy. And so what you need to do is find a secret way through the woods. This was really cool. I really enjoyed this. This is exactly what I'm talking about with the whole jumping thing in X2. It allows you to do a lot more interesting things. So that is something we want to have our eyes on. But the other thing is also monkeys as we go through. So, oh god, and one of these guys. Oh! Okay, this guy also has a blue bullet for us. He's like a Dark Aeon version of one of the enemies we saw in Zanakin. These guys are basically impossible to kill, as far as I remember. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to put Pain onto Gun Mage. Okay. Riku to flee. Alright, so when Pain gets back on Gun Mage, this is a pretty interesting animation for Berserker. It's like the Berserker falls asleep. I don't know, it's like a weird idea. Is she supposed to be like an animal or something? I don't know. There you go. Alright, good. Now, if we're lucky, he has an ability called Body Splash that he uses, okay? His auto attack diminishes you to 1 health, and then he has an ability called Body Splash, which will do splash damage. And the idea is it's very similar to the Yojimbo Zanmato thing we saw before. Alright? So what we need to do is wait for him to Body Splash. Now, we might only be able to bait a Body Splash out if we do a certain ability on him. So we will try that in a moment. In fact, let's try and use some of our own blue bullets here instead of just wasting it. Ah, here we go. This could be it. Mortar. Let's see whether we learn this. Unless... Oh, this is weird. That's a weird, like, cast animation. Here's Fire Breath, by the way. Fire Breath's really good against enemies with loads of... Here you go. Storm Cannon. There you go. Storm Cannon. And it killed Pain. Alright. That guy's basic. Very, very difficult. This is like one of those rare situations where they put a super difficult fiend in an area that you shouldn't be able to fight. But even though Pain died, we managed to flee with the other characters, and she's actually got Storm Cannon now. That's great. Oh my god, that's really, really good. Okay, good. All right, now let's put it back to Berserker. I will show off what all the blue bullets look like at a later date, but for now, there we go, Berserker. Okay, Squatter Monkeys. Now, one of them should be kind of near here. But I don't see any of them. See, this has always been my problem with this side quest. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I've got an idea, guys. I've got an idea that we will try the monkeys after the mission, which I think is still possible. I just think we may have to do it after the mission because so much of the jungle's changed right now. I thought we could do all at once, but I never test played that, so we'll have to see. Definitely a lot of the locations that I know monkeys are supposed to be, there aren't any monkeys, so I'm guessing we'll have to return. All right, so what do we do then? Let's try and go through our regular routes through the jungle, shall we? And let's see exactly what's going on. Well, straight away, this seemed like a pretty obscure direction, but no. Once again, it's barricaded. And even if we go all the way over on the left as well, you'll find that there's also another barricade. So the question is, how exactly do we get ahead? The fire is scary in here, man. I'd love to do that kind of voice acting. That'd be really cool, right? So what do we do? Well, I believe...
Donna said there was a hidden path.
Did she now? I think I vaguely remember that.
Walk the treetops.
We don't even have to press circle for that, by the way. And we just skip on ahead. Now, where we are right now, who knows? There's no mini-map. It doesn't really show you. It's like a special little area. And then you load out again. So that's the treetops, I suppose. If only we could have done that in the previous chapter. Christ, remember all those little guards we had to narrowly avoid and stuff? We could have just walked the treetops. And that's the funny thing. You see Donna doing that. And look, now we're on that little hill. And they were running by. See, New Yevon or not, right? No matter what you pick, you don't want people to die. And slowly, the closer we get, the more apparent it is that there's actually chaos going on. There is something terrible. We can't run down, right, into the regular bit of the jungle. Oh, the fiends keep pouring out one after another. What's happening to our temple? I don't know, man. I hate to say it, but your temple and everything about you is founded on some crazy weird stuff about your universe. Look at that guy, Fali. It's just awesome. Oh, and they fixed the floor after the boss fight from Final Fantasy X as well. All right, so we move up. So what I really like about this mission, basically, is you really very slowly get to see, like, the build-up from people questioning the existence of anything wrong at all, to just slowly shit hitting the fan. Excuse my French. And the mission begins. So, mission time. We've got a fiend to clear out of the temple, of course. Restore order by stamping out the fiends. Objective, put a stop to the rampage. So you guys can see, after all these stories now with the Calm Lands and so on, now, if we only just now went to Beacon now and we got that cutscene at the start where she says, hey, can you help us? And then Pain is immediately like, fiends? You understand why, because most places in Chapter 3, they're having problems with fiends. As you can see, Comsphere will drop a Shinra on the floor, everyone. Comsphere says, I'm well aware of the danger, but I wanted to install a Comsphere. All right, that's fine. And you do want to make sure that that Comsphere's been dropped. I believe he dropped another one in the regular area of the town as well. I come all the way ahead to sell a few trinkets, and this is what happens. Oh, do you feel like buying anything? All right, sure, what have you got? Only regular items, but I have basically 99 of all this stuff, miraculously. That's kind of crazy, actually, that I've already got that much. So I really do not need to use you at all. He says he got separated from his mother, the poor thing. Come on, stop crying. Big boys don't cry, do they? Oh. Big boys don't cry. Whoa, was that a hidden chest I just saw that? No, it wasn't. I thought that I was going to say that would be a very extremely well hidden chest. Very similar to the tourist trap in the Calm Lands. All right, so let's go down. We get a really cool scene in a second here. His buddy. How awesome is this? Don't you worry. I'll negotiate us a juicy fee. See, I said to you guys at the start of the game that he's like the most normal, relatable character. And then you find out he's like this cold-hearted, money scrubbing. He's Scrooge. This is no time for us to be arguing over who's on whose side. But about the fee, do you suppose you could lower it just a little? No. Give us money. Money. Alright, we got the side chambers. We're using that room to shelter the refugees. Ha ha! What about this room? Let me guess, same thing. We're using that room to shelter the refugees. Alright. What's the Youth League doing here? Protecting the temple is our job. I sent my family to town. Hopefully they'll be looked after there. But we have to stop the fiends here if we're going to save the town. Alright, we're on the front lines, guys. Look at this. How cool is this? Now, I do believe that my very first playthrough of this, recently, like last year when I first played through it, when I didn't record and I just played the game, I randomly had a charm bangle here and I had no idea where I acquired it from. I know where I got our current charm bangles from on this file, but I don't know where I got that from before. Anyway, weapons of war here in the hallowed halls of our temple. It is a dark danger. Yes, look at how cool this is. Look at how they've muted all the colors out of the area. Look at these guns. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is like some Jose level Machina going on right now. Lady, though, if you'd realised what they'd been doing in Bevelle the whole time, the old wedding, you'd be rolling in your grave. These sentries are on loan from New Yevon's headquarters. I would like to think that they're enough. If the fiends make it past this, there's nothing else we can do. Lord Aharlan, please protect us. I love how he talks about Aharlan, because they are all Kilikans in the end, anyway. I can't believe we've had to resort to using weapons in the temple. We should be using these to keep the Youth League in their place, not for this. Wow. See, sometimes this game, it just throws dark stuff at you. What? You want to kill people? Alright, let's come on up, shall we? Let's see what we got. Well, the long stairway down. If you remember, this is where we get thrown on as Titus. Long ago. Accidentally thrown on when we weren't supposed to be there at all. Oh, I just got a weird, like, screen tear thing. And I think it got recorded. That was weird. Alright, and what's going on here? Oh, dear. Even more Machina. Look at them patrolling around. A downstate guy. Blue flames blocked our path. There was nothing we could do. So whatever's going on here, they've taken control of the Cloister of Trials. Every attempt we make to break through only ends in more casualties. It's all we can do to hold our position here. What does that guy say? All of my men lost. All right, in we go. What were these called? Valhallas. Valhallas in the previous game, I think, was what they were known as. All right, so we got Buddy, we got Riku, we got Pain the Berserker, who unfortunately still doesn't have much unlocked. Now, Buddy, you'll actually notice in this fight, is doing some slightly different stuff. We'll go immediately with Berserk there for Pain. This Valhalla still uses haste, auto haste at the start. How cool is that? Just like the ones from the Omega Runes before. But and 2 Farplane Shadows we just got stolen. That's awesome. Buddy's got a couple more abilities he learned in Besaid when he got hit by some special fiend abilities. So now he'll use Sorry about that and the things that, like the corkscrew attacks and stuff, which is cool. Are you right there? Oh, it's Bartello!
Bartello?
Oh my god, that was very shrill of you, Riku.
I'll be okay.
The fiends?
We're holding them off, somehow. They're coming from inside. One after another.
What What a mess it looks like down there.
If the fiends reach the town, they'll reach Donna!
They won't.
Aww.
Thanks.
Donna wants to see you. Well, she didn't come right out and say it, but you can kind of tell.
I want to see her too. Even if we believe different things, I'll always feel the same about her. The time of the summoners may have passed, but I will always be Donna's guardian.
Oh.
I live only to protect her.
Oh.
And you can say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
Donna!
What? They're lucky they made it so comically bad, right? With the Bartello stuff. Like, really. Anyway, as you can see, he's still here. When you defeated that fiend a minute ago, the blue flame went out. I would have loved to have had Donna Bartello in our team right now, but unfortunately that's not an option. They must be controlling the flames that are blocking the passageway. Alright, so what do we want to do here? I believe we just run into the fire, don't we? And we just get into encounters. Yep, another Valhalla. Fairly comfortably dealt with. I would quite like to put Riku onto a different caster class soon. Because we have seen an awful lot of... Let's use Excalibur. Excalibur against the Valhalla seems really cool. We have seen an awful lot, as I say, of Black Mage. But look, she's just owning with it at the moment. It's great. No Yuna for now. Look, the way I see it is we're running around as Yuna, so we'll see the other characters here. Woo! Voila! And then we managed to get a little bit deeper in, so that's good. Now we've got these. I've taken a lot of measures, guys. A lot of measures to just to unlock the skills, to do the side quests as much as I can, but not over level. I've done the best I can, and we're still like, you know, I mean, like seriously, look at it. Pain is only 2 levels higher than she was at the end of the previous chapter, or the other girls were at the end of the previous chapter. All right. Is this sufficient, this one here? There we go. This looks more like it, a Valhalla. Oh, here's actually some really, really, really cool trivia for you guys. If you look at this battle scene, this random encounter we're in, the scene we're in is not a scene that actually ever appeared in Final Fantasy X, and it's not really 10-2 style to introduce entirely new battle scenes either, unless it's entirely new areas. So when was this developed? Why was a battle scene developed for this kind of area? And if you remember in the previous game, we spent a long time standing around waiting for Yuna in that room. And I wonder whether at one point in development they had like a battle for that room, for that chamber, that they then ended up cutting out. It's kind of curious, because, you know, we hated Donna and Bartello at the time, and they enter. And maybe just later they decided in the story it wasn't appropriate. Kind of a cool thought, anyway. Alright, so yeah, we go to the right first, and we extinguish this flame. There's nothing really to tell us as players that we need to go to the right first. Then you go to the left, then you go to the middle. Each one's a Valhalla fight. We really don't need to see every single one. So I'll see you guys in a second. I want to put Bloodlust on her as well against Ifrit. Oh, man. This is the sucky thing. It's just too powerful. I want to be able to put Bloodlust on them and also experience, you know, Bloodlust being ridiculously, you know, at least balanced somewhat, right? Alright, let's go for this Valhalla here. Pretty obvious one. Oh, there's going to be 2 of them. For this fight, I've actually brought Yuna back. And I've done something kind of cool. I've put Yuna onto Pain's garment grid. Just because I want to show you something, a couple of things off to you guys. Now, we're really only seeing Pain as a Dark Knight at the moment. Let's go double fight him. Because that's kind of the way I set her up. But we obviously could have had Yuna as our Dark Knight or whatever. And when you look at them, you'll actually notice that both Yuna and Riku, if they become Dark Knights, they both have, like, interesting callbacks to other characters. So I believe Yuna actually has Calidbolg equipped right now, which was Tidus's final weapon in the previous game. Unfortunately, the camera angle is kind of crappy for it. We'll send her onto a regular attack in a moment. In fact, let's try this right now. Ready? Attack? Let's see. There you go. There's Calidbolg. That's Tidus's final weapon from the previous game. And there's going to be even more of that in just a moment, because we are about to unlock another physical attacking class and one of the last ones of the game. So there you go. So we got a bit of twin Berserker Dark Knight action going on. And that's what Yuna gets when she's on that Dresssphere. For that reason, a lot of people like to make Yuna the Dark Knight, because she gets the final weapon from the previous game. But, so yeah, basically you just fight your way through. You don't have to worry about any of the spheres or any of that kind of stuff, which is funny because what a big theme the spheres are from this game. But do not miss, right here on the floor, Okay. Another sphere. Now, this is easily missed. I don't know when you can reclaim this, if ever. This is Samurai. Samurai is just randomly on the floor in the Cloister of Trials. Easy to step over. And this, once again, is another new class for Pain. Maybe we're organizing these a little poorly. But that's Pride of the Sword now maxed out, okay? So, we'll come all the way up here. And this is, from the very beginning, what I've always wanted for Pain. Alright, hold on. We're in the wrong menu. Let's go. Gamma Grid here. Pride of the Sword. I always wanted her on the Warrior Sphere. Okay? On the Warrior Grid with all the, like, badass attacking kind of things. Now, you notice we still have Warrior on this, which technically means she still has a space. Like, we could remove it, for example, that there. Technically still means she's got a space. That will be filled by the final class, but we won't get that to the very, very end of the game. So the final class will go there. But otherwise, yeah. So this is Pain done. So she gets Samurai, she gets Dark Knight, she gets Trainer, Gun Mage, and Berserker. So just to talk a little bit about this new one that we've got here, and I'll slowly have to feed them in. We've got plenty more episodes to go, though. Attack with a large blade. Use momentum to increase power with consecutive attacks, or throw spare change just for kicks. Get your Bushido on. So Bushido were Auron's old overdrives, as you may remember. We will start off Pain on that Sphere for the final fight. And again, all the girls have got like different things if they all run Samurai. I believe Yuna on Warrior, she has the same like victory animation as Tidus, by the way. Which is also kind of cool. So you could like do a weird like mix and match thing. But here we go. This is it. That's the end of the Cloister of Trials. Whole lot of talk. Let's put a rest to this devastating, scary situation the Kilikans find themselves in.
Again.
Yuna's just getting used to it now.
An Aeon?
Is it though?
Yeah.
Uni.
I know.
I'm ready.